Good morning, everyone. So, as a thrill-seeking toddler, I love to stand on the battery pack at the back of my older sister's powered wheelchair, and I would hold on for dear life as she would zip down the sidewalk. That sister that I mentioned is Sasha Bindner, who's there in the audience in the powered wheelchair. So we were born to the same mom, but 25 years apart, which admittedly is a bit of an age gap. And Sashi was born with cerebral palsy, a developmental disability that impairs her speech and affects her mobility. Now, while she was born with this disability, most of her challenges have come externally from the attitudes of other people, like the pediatrician who declared when she was 3 years old that she would never be able to do much of anything. That pediatrician was just the first in a long line of people who underestimated Sasha. And like many other people with disabilities, she faced a great deal of discrimination. She had to fight to be included in general education classes in middle school. And once she was teased and called the R word and other names by some classes because of her speech disability. Sasha and my mom became involved with the Disability Awareness Education program started in Berkeley to help promote respect and inclusion in schools by bringing successful adults with various disabilities to talk to students about their lives, about barriers they have faced, about access and accommodations, and about getting beyond stereotypes and differences to embrace inclusion and the people around us. Sasha began to share her own experiences in classrooms too. Then attended the same high school I go to now, Lowell High School. We have some people from there. And while attending Lowell, she managed to cover herself in much more glory than I've managed. Next, she moved on to Cal to major in social welfare. Sasha developed into a respected disability rights activist. She served on the chair of the State Council on Developmental Disabilities. She's a domestic workers' rights advocate, and she's promoted inclusion in hundreds of classrooms with thousands of students. Sasha inspires me every day to live up to her example and to never let the ignorance of other people, like that pediatrician, be a barrier to your aspirations. So with that family history, I'm very committed to inclusion. So the Best Buddies Club at Lowell was a natural fit for me, since the club facilitates social inclusion and authentic friendships between students who have intellectual disabilities and those who don't. Also, my little sister Annika, seated next to my older sister Sasha, started a Best Buddies Club this year at my former school and her current school, Aptus. We started in honor of Sasha, and since her main problem with bullying was in middle school, we thought middle school kids could really benefit from the program. I've also volunteered during Special Olympics events at Lowell. We've had a really rewarding time overall with Best Buddies. I played basketball, and my previous buddy and friend, Roy Palmer, and I first bonded over our love for basketball. So thank you, Roy. I value our friendship very much, and you're a pretty good basketball player. So my mom and Sasha visited schools bringing guest speakers with disabilities to share their experiences. And these guest speakers, whether blind, deaf, learning disabled, or physically disabled, all agreed that their disabilities and even their inaccessible environments are not their biggest barriers. Rather, the biggest barriers they face are other people's attitudes. I would encourage everyone to think beyond stereotypes, to put themselves in the positions of others, to embrace differences, recognize commonalities, and of course, to support inclusion. Happy Inclusive Schools Week.